Welcome to the Fulfillment Ascendancy podcast. I'm so glad we made it to the end of the year because this is the final episode for the year. And we are going to talk about something really important that a lot of you have been thinking about and maybe confused or don't know how to deal with it. So it's a simple title. You did better than you think this year. So this is to help encourage you so you can prepare for 2026. A lot of people are replaying the year in their heads right now. What they didn't do, where they fell short, what should have been different. I also fell into this trap a couple of weeks back. I was thinking, I was like, yeah, I did some remarkable stuff, but did I really do my best? I started pointing out on some things that I believe I could have done better. Things that I thought I would have done a little bit better. Places I messed up, things I regretted. But when I think about it in a different way, I was like, yeah, I was able to achieve my core goal. I was able to do some things I never believed I could do. I was able to achieve something that seemed impossible at the beginning of the year. So yeah, maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit. So when we think about things like this, we criticize ourselves, but we have to reframe it. We have to look at it from a different perspective. You have to think deeply about your experiences this year, and you begin to see the light. You begin to see things that you never thought you did well, and you give yourself credit. You'll be like, wow, I really tried my best. I'm proud of myself. So, first of all, let's think about how we can think about things differently when we go into retrospection, when we begin to replay the moments or the memory, or when we look at our goals and the vision and the things we held ourselves to. How you can reframe that thought that keep telling you that you didn't do enough. The first thing you need to do is not to argue with it, not to argue with the critique. Don't argue with it. Question its measurement system. What if the way you are measuring this year is too narrow? So I want you to keep it brief. You are opening a door. You are opening a door to your experience. So the way you are measuring this year is just too narrow. Look at the broader picture. What are the things that you've learned this year, including what has the failure taught you? Are they going to help you become better? Did they teach you about a life experience? Are they going to help you make better decisions next year? So when you begin to think about it this way, you see that it all connects together, right? It's no longer that I failed, I didn't do enough. It's now like I learned what I should have learned. I did what I should have done. And now I'm going to do better next year. So it's no longer blaming yourself for falling short. It's now appreciating your experience, valuing the moments, and being grateful that you even have the opportunity to learn from those experiences. It could have been worse. It could have been a whole lot worse, but yet you survived. You failed. You learned. You pick yourself up, and you kept going. So I want you to understand this. Getting up when it was hard was a huge success. You held yourself together when things were falling apart. You did not become bitter, even if everyone around you seemed not to understand what you're dealing with. You kept going, and that alone should show you that you did a lot, much more than you think, much more than you ever imagined, and you should be proud of yourself. I want you to set your mind aright. I don't want you to blame yourself. When you see people saying, well, I bought 30 cars this year, I built 10,000 houses this year, I made $1 million this year, don't look at things like that. Don't think that you failed. Just be happy that you survived the difficult times, the difficult things that no one can understand. That's what really matters, because in those places where you were successful and you held yourself together, a lot of people could not deal with it. A lot of people gave up. A lot of people quit. A lot of people shut the door to progress. But here you are, listening to this, still ready to take up the challenge of next year and do better. That alone tells me that you did more than you believe you did. That alone tells me that you are a success. You are powerful. beyond your imagination. You got all it takes. You are not just giving yourself the credit. So I want you to understand this last stuff before we go. They are part of this year you might be overlooking. And I want to talk about them quietly, more deeply in this week Patreon episode. To get access to this episode, please join me on Patreon, on my private community on Patreon, on my private podcast called The Fulfillment Ascendancy. So I want to really talk about some things that you quietly are dismissing, overlooking, that hold a core foundation of what you have built this year, so you can step into next year with power, with strategy, and be able to do things a little differently, so you can achieve 10 times more than you did this year. So we won't just have a discussion, we want to look at some key things you did and how to do them better, how to appreciate yourself more, and how to step into next year with the right state of mind. So you are allowed to end this year tired and still proud. That's the last thing I want to say for everyone listening to this episode today. You are allowed to end this year tired and still proud. So give yourself a little credit, pat yourself on the back, and smile, because everything works together for good. I'll see you on the deep dive on my Patreon episode on the Fulfillment Ascendancy podcast. Have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.